Just when you thought you were in the middle of the tropical jungle, what the heck is this? I'll tell you what it is. It's the Sometimes Vlog, yeah. It's a vlog that happens sometimes. And look at this, I'm wearing an appropriate t-shirt and just found this microphone in my pocket, so I hope you can hear me without horrible wind noise, because here in Southern California, unfortunately, just as I entered the gates of Knott's Berry Farm, right across the street from us, over yonder, off in that direction over there, the Santa Ana winds decided to kick back up and Heimbuck everything. And of course, I didn't know I had this little microphone in my pocket, so I thought, well, there's no way I'm gonna be able to accomplish my mission now. I had some old footage, some old Randomland stuff I wanted to do, some then and now, some history. I thought the wind noise is totally gonna ruin this. I'd better pack it in. Then of course, as I leave and I finally come across the street, what do I discover in my pocket? But a little wireless mic rather, with a little wind muff on it. And up there somewhere, I don't know if you can see or hear it, I'm kind of blinded by the sun right there. We go, there it is. Firefighting helicopters have been making their way from Orange County northwards to help out with the fires. Of course, with winds like this, there might be spot fires in the Orange County hills as well. So we're all on the lookout everywhere in Southern California pretty much for these fires, which we have not been able to get under control. We'll have a couple of good days where the wind has been dying out. And it seems like, you know, we get more containment on the fires, things are going better. Some people have been allowed to go back to their homes and look through their possessions, different stuff. Seems like you're on the mend. And then bam, another round of these winds comes along, which are not unusual winds for Southern California. It's sort of unusual the time of year they're happening. This usually happens in sort of late fall, late summer, early fall, that kind of thing. But it still continues to be very dry and windy out here, which has been a big problem for everyone. So not completing my mission today, a silly little YouTube adventure, is very much held in perspective. There's no reason to get stressed out or too frustrated about it, because we can always come back tomorrow. It was also packed inside of Knott's Berry Farm because, of course, today is MLK Day and people have school and work off. And here's the thing, I didn't forget that it was MLK Day. I did forget about the whole having school and work off. And so, oh, very breezy over here. So I was walking into Knott's Berry Farm earlier thinking, yeah, this will be perfect. It'll be a total ghost town in there. Pun very much intended. Instead, what I found was crowds, intermittent crowds, so not as packed as it was during the holiday season. And of course, everything looked beautiful and nice in there, but it was super, super windy, and I didn't think at the time I was gonna be able to film and do all that kind of stuff. So I was like, well, this is a little bit frustrating. But again, in perspective, because of everything else that's been going on, and not just with the fires and all that, but even the stuff that went on with us at the end of last week, which is part of why I'm coming at you now with the Sometimes vlog from the shores of old Jungle Island over there. If you guys never saw that video about Jungle Island at Knott's, we did something that no one has ever done as far as I can tell, which is bring a woodimal back to Jungle Island. There used to be all these wooden creatures over there called woodnicks or woodimals over on that little sort of party area now. That was once Jungle Island, a separate attraction from Knott's Berry Farm. You had to have a separate ticket to go in there. Right across the street over here, right in the shadow of the free Independence Hall, open until 4 p.m. every day. I was walking around there earlier checking that out, but I think I'll save that for the next video. Anyway, it dawned on me that if I didn't film anything today at all, just wait till tomorrow to kind of restart the adventure that I was planning on having today, then the last thing that anybody ever saw from us was me posting on Instagram about Allie being in the emergency room. And a lot of people are just catching up with that, so I'm still seeing comments say, oh my gosh, what happened? And so I figured I might as well just briefly tell you what went down. So over the last week on Thursday morning, I had the worst kind of wake up that you can ever possibly have, which is one of the people you love most in the world waking up and saying, I need to go to the emergency room right now. Like, what in the world? Allie woke me up and said, I've got to go to the emergency room. I'm like, what? I was jumping out of bed, I'm trying to grab her purse, I'm trying to grab her stuff, and before I could even find her insurance card, her ID, or even get, some sweatpants on her or anything like that, she was just totally passing out. I said, I'm gonna call 911. I called 911 for the paramedics. The paramedics came to the house. They got there pretty quickly, kind of made sure she stayed awake. I was able to find her purse, I was able to find her stuff, and then I'm like racing after the ambulance as it makes its way up Harbor Boulevard to her hospital, the hospital where she had all her surgery, St. Jude in Fullerton, which was absolutely even at like 9:30 in the morning was slam packed. There were no parking spots. I had to go park down the street at some place I knew had valet parking, a different medical building, like running down the block and across the street, and then I couldn't get in to go see her. So I don't even know what's going on at this point, right? She's just having trouble with her stomach and she's passing out. It's like, this is not good. I don't even know what's happening. And because the hospital was so busy, I couldn't even get inside to see her or to find out what was going on for like an hour. And at first, obviously, she wasn't texting me. She wasn't feeling good and all that, but they set her up with an IV drip apparently and all this stuff while I was out. And they put her on a bed in the hallway. The hallways were full of beds. And finally, one very, very cool, very nice security guard. I didn't get his name. He's an older guy, bald dude with a mustache, very cool guy. Saw that I wasn't sitting down for a whole hour. I was just standing up in the waiting room. He said, let me help get you back there. So I finally got back there into the hospital with Allie, and it was awful. I mean, talk about putting things in perspective. It was like the 7th layer of heck in there. And I was telling one of the ER nurses who was kind of in charge, and she's trying to shuffle all these beds around in the hallways because it's so packed, so full in there. I was like, not only do I feel bad for anyone who has to come here as a patient, I feel bad for you guys working here. She's like, I was like, look at all the work you guys are doing. You guys are like superheroes. She's like, yeah, if only my boyfriend knew what goes on here. Like, yeah, dang. Anyway, it turns out what happened is Allie had an attack of her Crohn's disease. Eventually we were able to get her CAT scan, CT scan. Are they the same thing? I can never figure that out. And the doctor came and said, oh my gosh, like what's left of your small intestine is pretty much collapsed, or not collapsed, but swollen shut. And so just this horrible attack of inflammation came and just basically pinched off her entire small bowel, as they say. And it was pretty horrible. And luckily they were able to give her some steroids and get her some medication and reduce the inflammation right there in the hospital. And so after, I don't know, 5 or 6 hours, we never did get her a bed or like a room, like a curtained off area even. She was in the hallway that entire time with lots of other people. And it was just, you know, it was just crazy. So you see so many sad, horrible things. Any of you who've ever been to an emergency room know exactly what I'm talking about. But that was the scare of my life. And so we spent the last 3 or 4 days taking it very easy, making sure she's okay. She tried to go back to normal right away. She was already trying to do like laundry and wander out. What are you doing, you know? Not that anything happened to me, but I feel like it's been taking me longer to recover from the shock and the stress of that day than it has been for her. And I'm like, you're trying to do normal stuff? She's like, I feel better now. What do you want? So she is a trooper. She is like an ace trooper. And then of course I did post about it online. And even though I posted updates that she's okay and stuff, a lot of people are just seeing the first post now. And so I just wanted to like kind of explain what had happened. She's okay. That was the first attack that's been that bad since her surgeries where they took out most of her small intestine and some other organs and stuff in 2022. But with chronic illness, you know, you're never free and clear. Even if nothing's hitting you for a long time, you're always kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop. And I guess we're a match made in heaven because I also have chronic illness myself and chronic pain and chronic problems with celiac disease and some other things. It's definitely kind of nice to have a partner who understands that and have a partner in your life who knows you're not faking when you wake them up and say, hey, I need to go to the emergency room right now. It's like, where's my shoes? Let's go. So it's a little bit crazy, a little bit chaotic. And yeah, putting it all in perspective, man, we are just very grateful to be alive, very grateful to be together, and very grateful to be, relatively speaking, healthy and at least up on our feet now and doing stuff. And of course, things are horrible in Southern California. This wind is not helping. And again, to put it in perspective, you know, there are people who are losing their homes, and these firefighters have been living in tents and battling these blazes for days and days and days. So all things considered, a crowded theme park and forgetting a microphone, not being able to do a silly little YouTube adventure today, that's perfectly all right. I hate times like this because I feel useless, and you go in the emergency room and you're watching these heroes and doctors and nurses that are doing like real work and like doing the hardest job on the planet, working in a place like that, working so hard to take care of people, literally saving lives. And then you see these firefighters going and they're fighting blazes, saving people's homes and properties. And if you're anything like me, you feel so useless doing whatever it is that you do that's not a part of that, you know, like I feel like, you know, useless. That's the only word I can possibly use. The last couple of videos, and I think this one too, if it lets me, we put a link to Direct Relief, a place you can donate where 100% of the proceeds supposedly go to victims of the fire situation and all that. It's all I know how to do at the moment, so that link will be down there if you're interested in that. But we are okay. Allie and I are okay. We're doing fine now. She's doing a lot better. She seems normal. She looks normal. The color has returned to her face. Things are flowing through the body. Her blood flow is not pinched off anymore or anything like that. No more incidences of passing out, although she's still tired. She doesn't want to admit it though. She's up and like, oh, I can do all the laundry. I can do this. I can do, no, just please, just rest and chill. And so in that spirit, even though my plans went slightly awry today, I'm going to take that as a sign from the universe that maybe I should go home and do a little more resting and chilling with her in the house. There's plenty of other stuff in the house, paperwork and bills and all kinds of stuff that I need to catch up on anyways. So rather than getting frustrated or getting negative about today, I am just breathing a sigh of relief that, you know, we're intact, we're together. Most of my friends that were very close to the fires have escaped, managed to escape with their lives, pets, and even properties mostly intact. Although I know many friends of friends who have completely lost their homes, and it is a very sad thing. So direct relief is in the description. Allie is up, she is talking, she is walking, she is on the mend, and basically that's all I've got to report to you here from the shores of Jungle Island for today. We will be back for more Random Land adventures, don't you worry. I mostly wanted to give that update because I knew there were some people out there asking like, what's going on? Is she okay? And all that stuff. And social media doesn't show you every post anymore, even from the people that you follow. Even when you click the bell and do all the things, it doesn't show you every update and every post, so that I know there's people out there who are worried about her. And I thank you so much for your thoughts and prayers. And I really want to throw the hugest shout out to the firefighters, the EMTs, and the hospital workers who are not just handling the everyday horrific tragedies, but these crazy fire tragedies as well. I mean, those people, they're the real heroes. They're the ones that, you know, deserve to be enshrined in statues and plaques as far as I'm concerned, especially as they once again helped to save the life of my one true love. Jeez Louise, it's just, it was a lot. It was a lot, but we're breathing. We're looking forward to new adventures. And in very short order, in a couple of, actually just a week and a half or so, Allie and I will be on a trip. We'll be out of Southern California, and so I definitely want to make sure that she rests and recovers fully, and that we're ready for the next round of crazy adventures coming up far from California. Although in the meantime, we will be back again in Knott's Berry Farm when it's a little less crowded than it is today. We'll be back in Disneyland this week if all goes according to plan, and if it doesn't go according to plan, that's all right too. That's all I wanted to say. I just wanted to give you guys the update about Allie, let you know what in the world happened. And as if the fires and all that stuff happening to people I know wasn't enough, it was definitely a big reminder that nothing is guaranteed to any of us. Not one day, not one breath. It could all end in a flash. Definitely makes me want to call my mom, call my friends, and hug everybody that I know, and just be grateful for who is still here with us. And I'm also very grateful for all of you. Thank you again for your thoughts and prayers and all this stuff for Allie. She's doing okay, and like I said, that's all I've got to say. So for now, we've done our duty. We can go home, sleep well, and I'll see you on the next one.